Okay, so this is a summary for day 12. Um, oh yes, I have a chart now. Let's see here. Okay, and let me see, setting the chart up here so I can see it. Okay, there we go. All right. What the first update that I wanted to mention there, or the first issue for this update, was that very late in day 11, in the day 11 schedule, um, I just basically I at some point I woke up and I didn't know um, what time I went to sleep. I have no idea. I just like totally lost track of everything. And up until that time, for the 10 days prior, I had lost track of no time. I mean, everything was clear. I mean, I was doing it all mentally. I didn't write a thing down. I mean, it was all in my head and everything was perfect. Um, and so, not sure if this is a backlash from the cold, which uh, still hadn't gone completely away, or fatigue because of that, or um, there may be a phenomenon that might be called boogeyman second wind. Because I've noticed in both attempts, there'll be something where the boogeyman retreats for several days. I mean, several days in a row, and you just feel like great and everything, and then all of a sudden, bam, he comes back with a vengeance, hard, and it's almost like it catches you unaware and then just wipes you out. Um, and that might be because that happened the first time that I've tried this, and now it happened the second time, and so that might be the boogeyman second wind, and I think that's what we were looking at here. But anyway, so I have unaccounted for oversleep. I don't know how many hours or phases, or I mean, how many hours I missed. I don't exactly know. Um, so it's kind of strange. But anyway, I've now had 4 complete um, sleep phases since that occurred. All 4 of them are fine. The first phase of day 12, which I'm no. Let me see. Yeah. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, that's right. Um, oh, I see. Because I've changed the okay. Yeah, all right. I've changed the ordering of the times to reflect a normal 24-hour day. So from 3 a.m. to 11 p.m. when actually the this is amazing. The day actually starts. Well, I mean, I end my days on the 11 a.m. slot, but the actual chart starts at 3 a.m. So, and this can get really complicated. So, anyway, I'm just gonna forget about that and just say that call it the first phase of the first phase of day 12, which that's not entirely accurate, but it makes it easy just to call it that and just not worry about it. And I think that's what I have to do here. So the first phase of day 12, I actually did have a flying dream, which those are nice. Those are really nice. Flying dreams are uh, energizing dreams, so they're really good for spiritual energy, internal energy, emotion, whatever you want to call it. That mental energy, I guess. They're really good for that. It actually shows an advanced state of um, consciousness. The flying dreams are an advanced state of consciousness and awareness, um, and uh, they're also closely associated with lucid dreams. I mean, there is an association, there is a connection between the two, um, and obviously a flying dream is uh, you know a product of REM sleep. So that's another good sign. I wasn't knocked out of the body didn't just because I had this weird event where I lost sleep. I wasn't just knocked out of the whole schedule and I'm done. It's not the case. I had a flying dream just 2 phases later after that big huge issue, which is 2 phases later is like 8 hours. So 8 hours later, bam, flying dream. So and so that's really good. So I wanted to definitely update that. And yes, I've now started charting the every phase, so I can't lose track anymore of how much time has gone by because everything is tracked. So that's why I'm doing this, because I didn't like that feeling of getting totally lost, because I kept it all in my mind without a problem. I didn't have any problems, so it's easy till that event. And I think I'm going to call that Boogeyman's second wind. And let's see how many wins it has. I mean, I don't want to see any more of it. So, all right. And so that's pretty much it. I'm now starting day 13, and so looking forward to that. And yeah, yep, feeling pretty good. It's interesting. There's one guy that blogs. He blogged, I don't know, one time or something. He only has like one video, but it's like the most helpful video for beginners. And he doesn't speak English all that well. He's German, and he says one thing. He says instead of saying the word exhausted, he says the word exhaust. So if you've ever seen his videos, you know who I'm talking about. And he made an interesting statement that I haven't heard anyone really make a statement like that before. He just said if you oversleep, you'll become exhaust, and that's what oversleep does. It basically eliminates it. It overcomes the feeling of peace. I mean, when you're in the groove with Uberman, polyphasic sleep, you have an energy going that's just like humming. It's just going, and it is a stronger energy. It's clean, it's clear, it's your mental state is elevated, because it's just like you got the best possible sleep you could get. That's how it feels. Like you have the best possible sleep. And it's an amazing feeling, and it feels so good. Okay, and then if you oversleep, you lose that. You're not losing your ability to do Uberman. I mean, you don't lose your ability to do polyphasic sleep and start over like at day one. That's not what happens. But you lose that energy high. You lose that energy high, and you become, and it brings on exhaustion. And I think that's because the oversleep represents additional, like the body starts going into different mental cycles. So in other words, it's kind of like you was drinking alcohol, and you were accustomed to drinking a small little bit, and you had this constant high going because you knew exactly how much alcohol to drink to keep the high going constantly without getting drunk. And then oops, you start slipping and you start chugging down the whole bottle, and then you like all of a sudden you go, oh no, oh, I can't be doing this, and you stop. So you don't chug the whole bottle, okay, so you're not like totally drunk, but you're not that high that you had when you had the right precise amount of alcohol. When you have that right to keep the high going. So you get this drunk feeling, but it's not like being totally drunk. So and you definitely notice the difference between that sense of fatigue that was not there, and that wonderful high that you have. It's just so much better. The way I would describe it is, I guess you can call it mental, emotional, psychological conflicts. Those issues that we have, mental, emotional, psychological conflicts. You can call, some people might want to call it stress. I mean, I don't know, but all these are, no one ever defines these words as they're using them. Stress. Well, what does that mean, stress? I mean, it can mean a lot of different things. No one really defines it, So, anyway, those issues, stress, physical, mental, emotional conflicts, psychological conflicts internally, those things are minimized, almost to just not even be in there when you're in polyphasic sleep. When you're using polyphasic sleep, you have that high, because again, it's like getting the best possible sleep that you could get. Which, I mean, if you were to, actually define what that sleep would be, it would be lucid dreaming. Okay, and I'll just break down the rest of what lucid dreaming actually is. Okay, when yogis meditate, okay, they raise the Kundalini energy. Okay, and that's the central energy in the mind and body, both the connection, and the okay, and they meditate to do that, and they do yoga to do that. There's techniques to it, and there's a shortcut or a alternate way, like a hack, if you want to call it a Kundalini hack. That hack is lucid dreaming. Okay, when you are lucid in your dreams, your Kundalini energy is raised and unified. And that's what lucid dreaming is. It's enlightenment, but you're in your sleep. So you're enlightened while you're sleeping. That's what it is. And polyphasic sleeping is closely associated with that. And the reason is because you're exiting sleep right close to a delta phase. I think, is that right? See, now I don't know, because I'm not, I don't know. If delta phase is the complete raising of Kundalini, which I think it is. I think it is. Okay, right. So then delta phase is when you are, call it totally unconscious, and Kundalini is fully raised, but you're totally out of it, like completely under. Then you go into REM sleep. Okay, get REM cycle. The goal. Gosh dang it, stupid screensaver. The goal of REM sleep is to reunify your Kundalini energy back to delta sleep, the equivalent. So then what happens is you have delta sleep, you go full raising of Kundalini, then bam, here comes a REM sleep, and then you're given sensory inputs, false. I mean, sensory, but you're sleeping. So it's like a test run of your consciousness, and you're given images, you're given time, you're given time and space, and like a mock representation of daily life as a test, to see how you cope, and to help you to, if you perfectly cope with it, I mean, you'll be lucid dreaming, and then if you study in there, you find out the yogis, they have they say that if you study really deeply, you'll find that there's different degrees of 16 different degrees of Kundalini energy, and it's the same thing with lucid dreaming. You'll find that you have different degrees of lucidity. Like, you can have massive rushes of lucidity. You can feel when you're lucid, especially when you first become lucid. You can feel the rush of Kundalini energy. It's just this huge rush, and your Kundalini energy's just been unified. And it feels amazing. And so anyway, the reason why polyphasic sleep is closely associated with Kundalini energy is because delta sleep is so closely associated with Kundalini energy. That's why. Because what you're doing is you're exiting sleep very close to delta sleep. I mean, you're exiting. I mean, yeah, you're leaving sleep really, really closely to the highest form of consciousness, as close as you can get to it. And that this is what creates that high, because no longer are we sleeping for 8 hours in a row, and then waking up, and then you're like totally messed up. You're just totally messed up. Because at the end of the stages, once you go far enough into sleep, the majority of time that you spend asleep is outside of delta sleep. And the only way to get back to that delta high, hey, that delta high, that has got to be something. There's got to be something that can be done with that phrase, delta high. I'm serious. But anyway, once you get, because yeah, when you're at the end of an 8-hour sleep cycle, the majority of that time is all spent in REM sleep. Like, it's something enormous, like 75% or something. I forget the exact figure, but it's almost all the time is spent dreaming, REM. And the only way to get back to the delta high, that's what I was saying. Only way back to get back to the delta high is to go lucid. If you don't go lucid dreaming, then you're going to be in a lower state of consciousness when you awake. And how low that is, I guess, just depends. I mean, and it's really amazing. It's really amazing. But there's a straight scoop. There's a straight scoop for you. And I think many people have noticed that polyphasic sleep is a good springboard for lucid dreaming practice, which I can only encourage lucid dreaming practice. I mean, because it just makes there's absolutely nothing wrong with it. I mean, I think everybody should be responsible in their actions. Stephen LaBerge mentions this, because he's, he was thinking about it, because he was thinking about it, and ultimately what he came out to say was that, we're all responsible for our own actions, and we need to take responsibility for that, and for the most part, lucid dreaming is going to be good, and just I'm sure there's certain things that you just don't want to do in lucid dreaming. I don't want to think about what they are, and I don't want to know what they are. I don't even want to just even worry about that, and just I mean, I think the best thing to do in a lucid dream is pray. Myself, I think that's the best thing a person can do is pray in a lucid dream, and nothing better than that. So I guess I might, I don't know. I'll probably, I mean, I could, that's the thing. You're only asleep for 30 minutes. For me, I sleep 30 minutes. But you're only asleep for like 30 minutes, and the sleep is so important. It's so important. Each nap has a huge level of importance to it, because that little bit of delta and REM that you get, you need it. You absolutely need it. It's your sleep for the night. You have to have it. And so when you're focusing on having a lucid dream, that takes a concerted mental effort. And what I'm concerned about, because I've always noticed this, and I don't know if you're in Uberman sleep cycle, if I've not tried it, if it's easier to go to sleep while doing this. Don't know that. My concern is that if I apply my mind to having a lucid dream while I'm in this, when my number one mission, my primary goal is to get to sleep. I mean, that is my goal. That is the mission. Get to sleep. This is urgent. You need to go to sleep. And if I take my mind and start thinking about lucid dreaming and such, I might just not go to sleep because I have to put effort into it, mental effort, when what I need to be doing is going to sleep. So, don't know. Um, so I mean, I guess I can cross that bridge when I get to it or whatever, sometime down the road or something like that. Um, but it's nice to know, it's nice to know that polyphasic sleep is almost like lucid dreaming in a sense. Not quite, but it's closer to lucid dreaming, whereas regular sleep is not. Definitely is not. Um, yeah. That's it, boys and girls. That is it. So, okay, we're done for day 12 now. That was a summary. And what we'll do is update you for day 13. And so talk to you soon. Hoo-hoo!